Pixar is just so nostalgic from the 90s and 2000s. I remember in 2001 when Monsters, Inc. came out. I was in love with this movie. I watched this movie probably every night for a few weeks. With the movie being a big hit, a lot of games had to come out after that on pretty much every system. I played a lot of the GBA game, and not the greatest game, it's definitely a decent game for what you get. It's actually made by Natsume, funny enough. I remember back in the day, I rented a game from the game store, and it was Monsters, Inc. Scream Team for the PS1. I vaguely remember playing this though. I want to say I played the first part of the game, the training level, and then I just kind of got bored.
You're doing so well.
Over 20 years has passed since that time, and this game, I somehow own this game, not even sure how I got it, and was like, you know what the heck, let's play some good old Monsters, Inc. I 100% of this game, and have some thoughts and opinions I want to discuss about this one if it's worth your time to check out. Take a load off, kick back, let's talk about Monsters, Inc. Scream Team for the original PlayStation. Monsters, Inc. Scream Team, or Scare Island as it's called in PAL Regions NPC, came out in the year 2001 for the PS1. Developed by Artificial Mind and Movement and published by Sony. Artificial Mind and Movement, or Behavior Interactive as they're called now, and how they were when they started, they've made an assortment of stuff. Their first go was Jersey Devil. This game is incredibly half-assed, but people still defend this game like it's a great game from the past. Other games too, like Smurf Racer here, it came out in the early 2000s. Games like Bugs and Taz, Time Busters 2 was made by them. This game takes place, I believe, before the first movie. So basically what's going on here is you play as Sully and Mike, and it's pretty simple. You go to Scare Island, that way you can rise through the ranks and get good at scaring, that way you can get a bunch of medals and graduate. That's really all there is, just graduate Scare Island and do good in school. This game is a 3D platforming collectathon kind of game. You already know what you're in for games like this. You can use the D-pad to move, or use the left stick with analog controls, and it's actually not bad to use that. You jump with the X button, and you can tap twice to do a double jump. I love it when games do this. Square is your attack button. You'll do a regular attack in place, and if you use square whenever you're moving, with Mike you can roll, Sully can do like this slap attack. You also can jump and use square and do a ground pound too. You'll need to do that on some enemies. Lastly, L2 and R2 can turn your camera around, and you can even hold them both in place to do FPS mode. The goal of this game is you need to get bronze, silver, and gold medals in every level, which you start with bronze mostly at first. You have to take out these nerves. They're these like metal robot guys running around just laughing at you. You gotta scare them in order to get the scream stuff, and beating them awards you a bronze medal, and you can move on to the next level. You can't just willy-nilly scare these guys though. In order to do that, as you see on your screen in the bottom left, there's a meter that goes from blue all the way up to red. You have to collect this ooze stuff, and you see it all the time in the levels. This ooze raises your scream meter, and depending on the color of that nerve, you can actually scare them. If you don't have that color yet, it won't let you do it. You gotta get more ooze, but it's so easy to find that stuff. When you do scare these guys, it goes to like a quick time minigame thing here. You actually have to press the button on screen, very easy, and then press X whenever it's filled up. Not challenging at all, but at least it's something different, I guess. You have 5 hit points in this game, and in the top left corner you can see. If you do happen to die and lose all your hit points, you just respawn really close to where you left off. If you get a game over, you're not going to get a game over. They give you more than enough lives. I had like 30 lives the entire time playing, so don't worry, you're not going to get a game over. If you suck and you do though, then you just restart the level. That's simple. When you start this game, you actually have a tutorial mission, and yeah, it's a little bit of a slog at first, probably why I put it down when I was a kid, but it does tell you how to play the game, so it's very thorough with that. You get to hear Roz's inspirational voice the whole time too.
From each course, you will need to scare the remaining 3 nerves in the area for a total of 8 nerves per course.
After you do the tutorial mission in the beginning, you have your hub land, and that's Scare Island. There's 3 big doors you can go through: the city door, desert door, and the snow door. Each door is like a world and has 4 levels each. When you start a level, you get the choice between Mike and Sully, and they do have their differences. Mike is definitely more nimble, and he can kind of move around a little faster and platform a little bit smoother, yet his combat is not that great. Sully is more burly and moves around a little slower, but he has a better hitbox on him. Personally, I liked Sully more, but they both play in their different ways. The levels definitely have variety, so in the city, you've got like this marketplace kind of level, so you're in the town, and you even have this like harbor level, which is kind of cool with the sunset going on. The desert world has definitely got a lot of variety. You've got some more platforming going on in these levels, and you got a lot more puzzle solving here, like this whole pedestal thing with the color coding stuff. The tomb level here, you got to use these blocks to activate these nerves to come out so you can finish the level. The snow levels are definitely the tougher levels in the game, but they're really not that hard. There's just more exploration going on really with these, but they get kind of creative with it. Like there's a lot of skiing here, as you can see, and this is kind of fun. Not super polished controls here, but it's still a cool thing to add. And truly, there's just really good level design here. When you get all 4 bronze medals of each world, you unlock a power-up that you can access. The first world, the city, gives you the trampoline. It gets you at higher places. The desert gives you the speed pads, and going through these, you can jump to really high places. The snow world gives you the bubbles, and the bubble power gives you access to places you couldn't reach before. It really encourages you to backtrack to the previous levels you played already, because you're going to have to get all the bronze medals in the game, and then once you do that, then you go back and get the rest of the stuff. There are enemies in this game, but they kind of form more of a nuisance more than anything. They just kind of get in your way. There's a lot of different ones, and they have different strategies on how you fight them, but nothing too crazy here. Boss fights? There's not a single boss fight in this game. Instead, after you get all the bronze medals of each world, you have to race off against Randall and go down this slide kind of deal, collecting all these tokens. And that's your challenge, and it's pretty easy, I'll be honest with you. Pretty disappointing that you can't have a boss fight in this game. They did it in the handheld versions, not sure why they didn't do it in this version though. I didn't go into this thinking it was going to be a super awesome game, but truly had a lot of fun. It's a pretty good 3D platformer. It's a very easy game, but at least collecting makes up for it. It's got some pretty fun levels. The fact you can play as Sully or Mike is a really nice touch. The visuals are pretty good for being a late PS1 game. The music also stands out, which is catchy. My only real complaints with this game is the lack of boss fights like I mentioned earlier. There's also just not enough levels. There's like 12 levels in the entire game, and the game is over before you know it. It definitely needed about 2 more worlds, I think. That would have definitely been a good touch. Overall though, if you like 3D platformers and you skipped out on this one, Monsters Inc. Scream Team is really worth the check out. I think this sits at the same bar as games like A Bug's Life as well as Toy Story 2. Yeah, it was really fun. Other than the PS2 edition in Europe and PC, this game is stuck only on the PS1, so if you want to get it, it's about a $10-ish all day long kind of game, and it got a greatest hits too, so if you see this out in the wild, you need to pick this one up. That's all I've got to say about this game. I'm gonna go watch some Monsters Inc. and eat a huge bowl of Cookie Crisps and relive some memories. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have anything to say, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you got to say about Monsters Inc., this game, PS1 games, or Pixar platformers. Until next time, y'all take it easy.